My name is Rapunzel. How I got into poetry. My friend invited me to a poetry slam in Glebe. He's not my friend anymore. But then my friend Rachel came back from America, and I told her about it, and then we went to our first poetry slam.
So I'm Rachel Ali Khalija. I'm something of a poet. I was once called the Taylor Swift of poetry, in that most of my early pieces were just sort of about relationship dramas one way or another, which I know seems really cheesy, but regardless, relationships are one of the most important things of human connection. So as petty as it seems to keep writing about all these kind of things and this petty notion of love, it's real.
Heart is fire. You fed me to the lighthouse. You sold me to peace. You fed me to.
My name's Jessie Ray, and I'm a multidisciplinary artist, poet, painter, and a musician. This week, I'm focusing on what to do with our little love movement over the next 12 months at the party. I'm trying to organise my brain a little bit more to focus on poetry. I've got a few poetry gigs coming up. So I'll be writing and painting and logisticising, and I know that's not a word, but I made it one. And catching up to myself, I think, resting.
Hello, I am Jessica Santosa. I am 25, born in Australia, but my parents are from Indonesia, hence why I look like this. I'm a full-time Bible college student, but also I'm a youth worker, and I'm a spoken word poet, and I love spoken word poetry. And the next poet I want to tag is Zohab Z Khan.
I'm Zohab Z Khan. Some consider me the greatest poet to ever live in the history of the world. And yeah, that's about it.
We did State Slam, New South Wales State Slam last year in 2012, and then we both got into nationals together. And basically through the competition, through me threatening him and him through him threatening me, I don't know, we just developed this love-hate relationship, and now we're friends.
No, we don't have a love-hate relationship. Jess is just crazy. That's it. That's my answer.
My first piece was a bit, not slammy or anything. It was pretty generic, a pretty generic love poem. So, but I think I've kind of tried to improve my style, I guess, or explore more. Yeah, and right now I'm running a poetry slam in Parramatta with Rachel, which is really cute. But she's leaving, so that's okay. She's really obsessed with traveling. She's a bit of a nomad. So I tried to kind of encapsulate that. Yeah, I've got a couple of fans here too. Hey. Yeah, cool. That's it.
We're at the Word in Hand in Glebe, and it's at the Friend in Hand Hotel, and it's one of the longest running poetry slams, I think. And it's absolutely beautiful. This was the first place that I ever performed, and it's just such a welcoming crowd, and I was terrified, nervous as anything up there, and they embraced it, and they seem to like it, and I've been back here pretty much every month since. I think I missed a couple in the past year, and that's it. I came from Melbourne Cup today, I still made it here, and I love this place. It feels like home in the poetry world.
You threw me on down, but you threw me away.
I used to be a really depressed, melancholic, slit my wrist muso, and then just, received joy into my life and discovered that it wasn't for me anymore, and discovered that spoken word was actually the language of my heart, and it's become beyond self-expression, and now it's into describing the world and describing what I see and what I hear, and that is why we hear from them.
Spoken word has absolutely been blowing up in Australia in this last year or so. I think it's just going to go on bigger and better things. There's veterans who have been doing this for ages, and there's new up-and-comers who are just as talented as the veterans. It's just a beautiful thing to be seeing this and to be well and truly a part of it. The next poet that I'm going to tag in is the one and only OBM from Queen Bien, aka Omar Musa. Go hit him up, boy.
So I drew you, I drew your way. So I drew you, I drew you on down. And so I drew you, I drew your way. Hey. And so I
Take my hand. Take me to all of those doors that have accumulated dust. I want to know every path that I could have taken. When I knock on these walls, welcome me in. I want to know of my grandfather's past. Peel back those wallpapers and expose the histories. Turn those hourglasses and turn them around. Don't you know that you and I have power over time?
The idea of seconds has never sat well with me. Second rate, second glance, even first place ties have always just reminded me of the seconds passing by, losing time is a big fear of mine. So much so that clocks have never lasted long in our home. Their hands fell at those of feathers bearing down on them like firearms. Sometimes it's hard to hear anything but menace in their heartbeat. When once naive enough, we heard it as hope.
This whole thing stays fluid. Like water, it can be our delivery from the stagnant constraints we make, from the drudgery we create. I've known a day to have 40 hours, sweat dripping fiercely, begging gravity for forgiveness and peace. I've known weeks to have just moments of memory. The rest a rush of obligatory doing, of no memory. Time is made by us. We chained ourselves as its slave. Now lament our early graves, our lost past and rushing future. Stay in the current, sure, but swim a little faster, float a little longer. Fuck with the wrong concepts and prove yourself as the clock master. There is no such thing as too little time, simply too little mindfulness. There is no rest for the wicked.
I am forever the fluffy puppy dog, jumping into the arms of the next incandescent object man like glittery lip gloss, grape flavored, savored by Dora the Explorer fangirls, little girls. I clasp both hands into my childhood dreams like handlebars of my pink bike with parachute fabric tassels. And as I ride through my worry, I don't even complete this circuit, for I am too distracted by fantasies of being an acrobat, a gymnast, a cheerleader, flexibly cartwheeling through villain-destroying strategies, because really, I want to be the pink Power Ranger.
Father Time. Time fathers us, for father figures have told us to follow timelines, lifelines, and straight lines. Lines dictate future and past. Past lives have never been lived to the fullest, for hindsight sees moments lost, not lived, but unlived moments are the most lived of all, for they let us know that there's always more life to live. So forget lines and forget time and forget lives that are supposed to be lived in certain ways. That's why I live my life in rhyme lines and zigzags and one poet tag at a time.